Hi there, folks. Sean Brodrick for the Oxford Club, and I'm here in Durango, Mexico, speaking to Keith Neumeyer. Now, you know him. He's the president and CEO of First Majestic Silver, which is it's a great position for Oxford Resource Explorer. It's our best performing position. And I just went on 2 underground tours in mines that belong to First Majestic, Santa Elena and San Martin. And let me tell you, they are really doing things well. Keith, I just want to congratulate you because those mines are optimizing production, lowering costs, and they're making new discoveries, which they're then going to develop. What does that mean for your company this quarter?
Well, I think it's longer term than that. I think that, sure, on a quarter-to-quarter basis, it does have an impact because we're mining currently at both mines out of reserves, out of life of mine reserves. So,
Yeah.
so that's really great because, it helps profitability when you're discovering new ounces and your depletion rates are lower and so on. So from an accounting perspective, it's really good. So, but I think you touched on a very important point is that, the Santa Elena and San Martin mines are our 2 most profitable mines in our portfolio. Really the reason for that is because of the proliferation of the metal, on these properties. It's just very exciting that, we just continually discover new, high-grade zones of gold and silver.
All right. And while we were there, along with showing us the underground workings, which were terrific, and some really wide, rich veins, which you guys are following and just getting some amazingly rich rocks out of. They also showed us that you're doing a cost optimization process, and automation, other things like that. That's really lowering the cost of those mines. Isn't that right?
Well, it has to be done, right? When it's sure silver's at $16 now, which is it's much better than 13 and a half or 14. But when silver was at $14, we had no choice but to try to optimize the businesses as much as possible, and so we brought in lots of technologies, automation. Unfortunately, we laid off a lot of people as well, which is just part of the process. But we've really brought our costs down substantially, but we have starved the assets as well. And it's just thank goodness the metal price has improved a little bit over the last couple of months because our cash flows have increased dramatically in the last couple of months, and that's allowing us to go back and make some really important investments, in development and in exploration, to ultimately. And this is my comment earlier about, it's really a more longer-term story because of increasing investment in development and exploration, we can then start to expand the mines again over the next couple of years, and that's what's exciting me.
Okay, well, great. Well, I'm glad you brought up longer term because what can the Oxford Resource Explorers subscribers look to from your company as a whole, over the course of the next year?
Well, we're still going to. I'm not going to get too excited about $17 silver. I think we're going to end the year probably closer to $20 silver. So, and likely $1,500 gold or somewhere in that range. So I am a bull on the metals, but at the same time, I don't want to get too cocky and start spending money all of a sudden too quickly because I could be wrong, and I have been wrong for the last couple of years. I would have never expected, silver to get down into the $13 level. That was just, very difficult to manage and very surprising. So, at one side of me says, okay, it's time to spend and time to be aggressive, but the other side of me says, okay, well, be a little bit conservative. Don't get too crazy. So, we're going to find that fine line, and we've got all these projects. They're large land packages, desperate for exploration dollars. All of them could be producing more metal if we wanted to make the investment. So we'll go after one project at a time. You haven't seen the Guitarra yet, but the Guitarra mine is our smallest mine in the state of Mexico, just outside of Mexico City. And that's really going to be the focus of our next investment in Mexico. And then we're finally going to start investing some money at Plomosas which is a project in Sonora that we've had in our portfolio since 2012. We bought it just as the market started falling apart, and that's a very interesting silver gold asset. It's an old Grupo Mexico mine that was in production up until the 80s, and we've been wanting to make an investment there, but just haven't done it because of cash flow restraints. So finally, that mine's going to start getting some investment this second half
Great.
of 2016.
Well, and I'll just close with one question, which is you made a call for $140 silver, which got my subscribers, I have to tell you, very excited. And then they sent me the link to the Bloomberg story over and over and over again because they said that is so cool.
Yeah.
So could you explain to those people who did not see the story why you think silver will go to $140 per ounce?
Yeah, it did get a lot of coverage, that particular interview, and I don't know why, because I've been on record saying things like that. I put together a silver company because of my thesis on silver. I look at silver as a very much as a strategic metal, not a precious metal. Everything we do as a human race requires silver. This device that we're using right now wouldn't work without silver.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and many of the things we do on a daily basis, your automobile, your home, and hundreds of things that we do every day that we take for granted, just simply would not operate without silver. So, the supply and demand fundamentals of the metal are extremely good. And I am a bull on gold as well, but we're mining right now 9 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. We're currently trading at about 75 to 1.
Yeah.
So, that tells me that silver is way rarer than people actually think it is. And you see a lot of these silver mines, turning into gold, or silver companies, turning into gold companies, because they can't find silver, mines, because silver mines are just so rare of an animal. And, we're consuming more silver today as a human race than we ever have in the human race's history. And the above ground supplies of the metal are at historic lows. So there's a real problem in the silver sector, which is not getting picked up in mainstream. And my call for $140 silver was basically based on the current mining ratio of 9 to 1 and the current gold price. But I think even that it sounds stupid. It sounds almost somewhat embarrassing to talk about $140 silver when silver's trading at $16 an ounce. It sounds almost foolish in a way. But I think it's real. I think supply demand fundamentals will ultimately take hold of this market, and I think we'll see much higher silver prices over the next few years.
Well, great. Thanks very much for inviting me on this tour. It was a fantastic trip, and your minds are just working so well. I'm just glad to be able to report on that to my subscribers. And thanks for speaking to my subscribers. And is there anything you want to add, or are we done?
No, you can follow me on Twitter. Keith_Neumeyer. I don't put a lot of stuff out there, but there are some interesting things. If you want to follow First Majestic or even my other company, First Mining Finance, there are a lot of stuff that comes out, and I try to get that out on Twitter. So. Yeah, and then go to the websites for additional information, of course.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for tuning in, folks. This has been an exciting trip for me, and I think we're going to see a lot more interesting things out of silver and First Majestic this year and the years to come, because we had a grueling bear market in precious metals. The bear market is over, and things are moving higher, and a well-run company like First Majestic can do very well in this environment, and I think that's what we'll see. So thanks for tuning in.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Sure.